Hi, how are you?
I have to make sure he's doing his work. Are you doing good?
Yay, super. All right, so I know everyone who is on. Well, Colin, hi. Sammy, hi, and Melba. Nice to meet you. Melba, I wish we could see your beautiful face. That would be great. Yay, there you are. Hi, Melba. You're shy. Oh my goodness. Yay. Okay, good. All right. So my name is Rachel Kaiser. Have you made me, I can share, right? I can share. Okay. Can you make me a co-host to you, please, so I can share? Perfect. Okay. Thank you. And where are we here? Okay. So anyway, just sharing my screen here. I'm just moving some things out of the way. Perfect. Actually, I'm gonna change the
one
sec. I'm just changing this so I can actually do a slideshow.
You can use you at 11:20.
The screen. Okay. So I'm starting. Thank you, everyone. My name is Rachel Kaiser, and I geez Louise, I'm having a hard time. One sec. I'm trying to change this. All right. Should I do one? Maybe just one. Okay. I'm gonna just put one because otherwise it's whatever my screen. I think I'll just leave it as that. That's fine. Anyway, my name is introductions. Oops, sorry here. My name is Rachel Kaiser, and I am healthcare IT program and project manager consultant. At the same time, I am an entrepreneur, and I'm a co-founder and general manager at a shared workspace called CoWorkerHub. I'm also an entrepreneur coach for especially startup and small businesses. And I really came to do this during here my time as, working with small businesses and, having them. Lori, okay, I'll admit Lori because there's a Lori who was waiting. I've just admitted her in. Anyway, and so I came, to work with small businesses. And during this time, I myself, I was learning, but I've been actually a business owner before. So during all this time that we've, been together collaborating with businesses that work within shared workspace, it's given me an opportunity to either mentor or help them in any other way that they may need. And then I'm also a speaker. I do speaking where I encourage and inspire others to move beyond their fears or outside their comfort zones to live their best life. So a little bit about me, that is, but I also came to actually, how I came to speak here is talk about online, it's great networking. I met Sammy online on LinkedIn. I don't know how you came into my feed, Sammy, but you did. And I was liking your content. And I remember one time you posted you're looking for speakers, and I was like, yay, it will be me. That was before the lockdown, earlier in the year. I think even we had planned for earlier than May, but here we are. So that's great. Anyway, I will be open to questions as we go along. So feel free, to let me know. I can type. Let me see if I bring up my. You can let me know who is facilitating. Is it you, Sammy, or Colin? In other words, if you can help me if there's a question someone types, please let me know. Or they can speak up since we are not many of us. So that should be okay. All right. So I want to just talk about CoWorkerHub. So as I'd said before, CoWorkerHub is a community of people that share workspace, but we're not just desks and chairs. We're actually a community. We see ourselves more as a community of people than, that workspace itself. and collaborating and helping each other. So we have locations in Middlebury and the new one in Winchester, which is where I am right now. It's the northeast corner of the Litchfield Hills area. And this week, we do happen that we're supposed to have a a grand opening last month. And of course, that didn't happen. So I had to come up with a creative way of doing this. So the whole of this week, actually, every day, we've been doing a daily we're really just helping the community, but also, getting a chance, if we can, just talk about what CoWorkerHub does and helps people with. So it's just the grand opening the whole week. It's certainly samba from what we had planned, but hey, you gotta have the most fun ever wherever you can. I forgot to put up my get-ups because I had some caps and some things, and on Monday, I know I did that, but today, I forgot, but that's okay. I'm going to have them at lunchtime, 12 to 1, as we have another meeting from here. So anyway, we do certainly provide meeting rooms. We do have flexible work plans. In other words, if people, when I say people, I mean anyone, a business owner, solopreneur, entrepreneur, or someone with a small business, others with a few, 1 or 2 employees, or anyone just starting out, but then also employees and remote workers that are looking for a space, especially in this time, if you are looking for, somewhere to work outside of their homes and just get a break, working from home. So we do have the permanent offices and also permanent desks and private offices. So that's what we do. I added in that currently we are really socially distanced and sanitized, and this actually started even before the reopening because we had essential workers and we had already started doing this. So, I welcome anyone who may need space who is located in any of these areas to let me know. So going ahead with our presentation here. So our topic today is finding opportunity in the new normal. I wanted to talk about that because I've been doing webinars literally since the lockdown, just helping out people. And it's true. I mean, you can't absolutely close your eyes and say that, all of us are not suffering in some way, shape, or form. However, I wanted to encourage people that during this time, you can actually really find opportunity. And you find that many times opportunity is found during the times that are hard. So I want to talk about how we were really at high level, how all of us were operating before COVID-19. Certainly, as you can see, most of us did everything in person, events were in person. I do remember I myself had actually tried virtual membership. And people were not at all. It wasn't something people gave really attention, and I had to abandon it because I'd opened a meetup group on meetup.com for that. Some people actually signed up, but whenever I put up something, not one person would engage. So I decided, it's a waste of my money, forget it, and I closed it in November. I remember because that's when I had to renew my, my payment with Meetup. Another thing is we're working with people in our communities for the most part. When I say communities, not everyone again, but this is general. You find that either people around us in our towns, or at the very least, if it was wide enough, people in our states. So I'll talk about how we need to change that thought process. The other one is we're giving goods for services that we've been doing. I mean, even now we're going to continue doing that, but we have to do it in a different way. So COVID came and hit, and oh my God, everything, changed for everyone. I don't care where you are. Can you imagine this changing the whole world over? So what the models then happen to be currently after COVID-19 is everyone had to scramble and find a new way of doing things. So one of the things was that, we have our old way, which was some of the things I talked about up there. Then a new way is, I'm going to use the word pivot. It's been used a lot, but I have to use it. So I'll use zag. I like zag. When you zigs, when someone zigs, you zag. So anyway, so what happened is many people had to zag or had to pivot. And so you did a combination of what you're doing, the old way and then also the new way. The new way, most of it either being virtual or the new way of curbside pickup. I'm going to admit someone, Joel Calloway. Or the new way was 2 people are waiting. Okay, who is waiting? They're joining. That's Joel. Do you see my screen?
Yes. It's not in presentation mode though.
Huh?
It's not in presentation mode. It's you know,
it's not
like a slideshow.
Okay. Wow. Oh yeah, it's not in presentation mode. Why? Because when I make it what, I end up not seeing everything. You mean like that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah. So okay, I'll make it this way in case people are not seeing. I reduced this, I changed how the display shows. So I think now it's okay, because before it was blocking my site. So now I only have, I think, you, so hopefully. Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Okay, and this is what you meant, right, Semi?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So anyway, as I was saying, you know, it became a combination. So the combination is a combination of things. It was a bit of the old way, and then either pickup, curbside drop, or pickup, and also virtual, either one of those or any other. And then others had to go a completely new way, and I'll talk about some of those examples. So then after, the opportunity here has become where it's both physical and or virtual. Those are the opportunities that are mostly come, or touchless. It's something I didn't put there, but that's what has become touchless, you know. So what we need to do going forward is we're going to have to do some part of this, you know, the new way of doing business, some combination. The other way certainly is we will have to create experiences. This may not apply to all businesses, but at least it's going to be many businesses where you're creating experiences. I talked about this in one of my in one of my webinars that I was doing right after the lockdown, actually, for restaurants. I'll give an example of those as we go, and then using online more. So just going back here, what we'll need to be doing a bit of both. The physical is, of course, you know, stores are open right now, and then also the upside is the virtual. So the virtual encompasses either doing actually virtual, like what we're doing, instead of going in person, or even a business online. So, you know, Amazon, of course, some businesses are thriving. In fact, they have too much business. I mean, can you imagine the big Amazon, the fact that they can't even fulfill all the orders? I mean, Amazon. So that is huge. That's a huge opportunity for them, for sure. So I want to encourage everyone as we're going along, if you can find some way to have your business or start a business that encompasses one of these, that is the way things are going. Is it a blessing in disguise? Yes, I have to say. Now I think you can start a business even with less startup costs. You know, instead of a brick and mortar, maybe you could do online, or you can do a combination of a little bit, you know, starting out, and then you see where that goes. Creating experiences that more people are joining. So creating experiences, by that, what I do mean is, for example, I'm going to give an example of a restaurant, but there are many others. As we all know, you know, restaurants, how they were operating, you'd go in, not all, but many, you go in, of course, you order your food and, you know, that kind of thing. Not many were doing, maybe some were doing, you know, the ordering online, and then you had DoorDash or Uber Eats. So for example, Panera Delivery also was doing, you know, if you order, they will deliver it. However, the experiences that I'm talking about is, I think the best thing is if you can create a menu, for example, that people can order, and they don't have to do some of the work or all of the work, and when they order and get it at home, especially during this time, that they're going to at least have an experience. They'll sit down, they'll have, they'll get out the appetizers, and then they'll have the meal, and then in addition they'll have a nice drink. When I say a nice drink, whatever that may be, but maybe a wine, a champagne or something like that, and then dessert. So I encourage, like, for example, the restaurants that I'm giving an example is to create a tiered type of menu, where someone, if they want more, they can have that. Those are the experiences. So they feel like they're taken care of and they don't have to do anything. So those are the experiences. The other bigger part is, unfortunately, Airbnb. I think we know all the layoffs that are going on. Airbnb is one of those that have been hit because they're just like hotels. And I do know that before they left, one of the things I'd seen, because I'm an Airbnb, we use it for traveling. I travel quite a bit. And I remember that this year it was one of the things I'd wanted to start creating experiences actually for our space, to use, to have a way to use our space even more. When I say space, I mean the meeting spaces, because it wasn't used to the maximum. So one of our goals this year was for us to create those experiences, and it's something we're going to do. We were planning to do. We still plan to do that, but in a different way, obviously. However, I just encourage anyone who has a business, if you can do that, you can even list that experience, whatever it is, online. Right now, of course, people are slowly coming out of, all of us from lockdown. So everyone is hesitant, but if you can find a way to deliver that, do that. If it's some kind of food, maybe do a package that you can deliver to people instead and take it home. And then when people are comfortable enough, they'll slowly come back, into wherever your location might be or venue might be. Definitely using more online. I think all of us, that I don't even have to talk a lot about it. Right now we are using online, which is great. But I think let us incorporate that aspect in our business, doing online or even starting online businesses. All right, so I don't know why it's stuck. One sec. I'm just gonna go like this because I'm not sure why it's. Oh, let me just make this bigger. I think I'm not sure why it's stuck, but it wasn't allowing to go. The next other thing that I wanted to talk about also, you remember I'd said here that we're only working with people in our communities. So the other thing we have to think about is reach. I think now let us think actually of reaching wider communities. I think this pandemic has shown us more than ever that we are all very, very connected to each other. I'll tell you that one of the things I think, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to be, open about it, that I think all of you that may be entrepreneurs on this call, you do know that, starting a company is not easy. So one of the things I'd actually seen and before the pandemic, and actually I'd put on my wish list, was that I wanted to reach a wider audience, in fact, international. And this actually has given me, a chance to do that. But I did realize that, sometimes all of us, we can really just try to reach the communities around us, whether it's the town, but we need right now to be thinking bigger. Think of what in your business you can offer to people outside your immediate community, your immediate town, and your state, and even the country. Now, some of them may not apply, but I'm saying if there's a way you can do that, try and do that. Because remember, most of the things are going to be done online, or at least you have to incorporate something that has to be done online. So therefore, the best thing right now is try and get a wider audience, think of wide, really immerse yourself in groups or networks out there. There are many groups that now are actually incorporating the, people from all over the world. So I just encourage everyone to do that so that you can have a wider reach. Because there are people who may need, your services. And I talk about that because, as an example, how am I doing with time? As an example, I'm on some groups that, happen to be also there, people international. And when I've been running this month, every Friday, a talk called New Normal Roundtable Talks, how to pivot your business. And this was just people sharing how they pivoted during this time and things like that. And we had some people who were international coming on, and some of them were going to start a business. And we brainstormed. They had questions, and we brainstormed what they wanted or had questions about. So my point is that goes to show that you may find customers all over the world. It doesn't have to be immediate communities or neighborhood. Again, like I said here, networking more in groups and communities outside of our immediate area, town, and country. So there we go. So talking about how to find opportunity, one of the things I'd given some talks before, I wanted to share with you. This is from my other slide, reusing my content. But I wanted to show you what happened. I was giving some examples of what some markets, actually these were restaurants, how some of them had to add on, things that they were not doing before. And one example here was a pop-up store. It was a store, but they decided, okay, let's add the grocery component. Sorry, not a store, excuse me, restaurant. And they decided to add a pop-up store to it. I like how they called that pop-up store. And they called it Founding Farmers. The thing about it was kind of farm to market. So, they, of course, created that component where you're getting healthy food, you might as well come and get it. And the best thing was many people were willing to support, especially restaurants, because they were hit hard, as you know. The other one was they created meal kits and literally gave them to people. Some were doing online classes, so that's how they created the meal kits with ingredients that they were going to show, online. So people had to be creative. Another example was a taco kit. Again, these were people creating experiences. That's what I was talking about earlier. So even though they call it emergency taco kit, it's something they're doing, placing orders, as you can see. This was actually in California, if I remember. And anyway, they were doing also online teaching classes. So that was another component of them making additional money. And then you see Shake Shack started offering steak fritters, as they said, as an experience. That was really incredible. Before they weren't, and now they started doing that. So I just wanted to show that. Another one that really touched me is a paper, actually, I came across. I'm always looking for, how people have reinvented themselves. I wanted to show, for example, this is a family, if you see here, this is a family of successful practicing dentists. They didn't have to do this, but they saw the need there, and they started, just running errands for people. The big thing is, I think right now, more so, people are willing to actually help these kinds of businesses that are local than, for example, the ones we know, the big, Uber Eats or DoorDash or these other ones that, are now international. So I just want to encourage someone, if you see, if you have a pain, think about it. There may be other people really that are also going through the same pain and need the same service that you need. And I think these ones probably, especially if they're saying successful practicing dentists, they're probably people who, who have been in the community, and they're not probably young people. And I'm saying that in a respectable way, that I think they were thinking about like elder people. I'm used to calling them elders, seniors, that probably needed, and as we all know, they were afraid to get out of their homes. So I think that's how they came to start this business. But I was really, really impressed how they did this. And I think this is even something that can be done anywhere in any neighborhood, you know. So this area in Winchester, North Winchester, there are many people that are retired. So maybe that's also the difference, because you may be probably, you know, like in major towns, and it may not be as needed. I think let us also look to see what could fit where we are, because some things may not fit, some may, you know. So anyway, so those are some examples I wanted to give of people who have created opportunity during, you know, this difficult time. And then others, just really generally, some of the things that, you know, right now, I have been very, very engaged with talking to people and parents, finding out what the pains might be. So one of them is, you know, if we can listen to the pains of parents, and someone has really is very good with children, you really can find out ways to help children. Ask them and see if you can offer a service. The best thing is that everything is online, so it doesn't have to be one-to-one. In other words, you're only working with one parent. You could create whatever it is, and if it's online, I bet you right now parents are needing help. You'll get many other people that need that. So online engagement of children, online cooking classes. I know that I don't see it a lot here, and it may be somewhere where I don't know. When I lived in Texas, one of the things that was a big draw was there's some places that did, you know, cooking for children and also adults. And that was a big thing. So online engagement of children, this is really to help out parents as they're doing, you know, their work, because everyone almost is work from home. So cooking classes, art, and any other thing, you know, that may really help children to be engaged. Definitely distance learning. I mean, right now, I think some of the children are probably school has ended, but still there could be other things that, you know, parents may need to teach children, or they want their children to take up. And so if you can look at that, you know, can you be an online teacher? In this case, probably not the teacher who you've gone to, you know, to learn teaching, but rather whatever the need might be that you can teach a child. So if you can look and see, is there a niche that isn't tapped that you can think of, and, you know, offer those services. The other one is boot camp, summer boot camp. Right now, I haven't heard of any. I don't know if anyone has seen, but I think probably there's some people thinking of this, because during the summer, I know that many parents would take their children for boot camp, either a week or however that would be. Some of them would stay there. Some of them was, you know, you go and pick them every day. But the point is that if anyone who has the interest actually with this can create a virtual program for boot camps for children, I think that would be great. I mean, parents would be happy. Now, you'd have to find some component. Is there a way that you can help relieve parents? I honestly don't know, but if it's something that, you know, one is interested in, you really can look into it and see how you can play with that. The other thing that I want to emphasize is during this time is collaboration. So if it's something that maybe if you collaborate with someone else and you guys make it work, why not? So, you know, collaboration is also a big thing. So the other one is content creating. I know, Sammy, actually some of this is part of what you already do, but I myself am one of them, you know. And you, for example, are marketing online. There are times we got some people, and then there are other times, you know, it just didn't work out. Even we did, you know, running ads, we weren't getting people. So we realized we have to do this organically. But frankly, in my other work, I wouldn't get enough time to do this. So I'm one of these people that there are new people who are now creating content online and, you know, need help. Me currently, though, I want to do it because I want to also learn. There are many things I've learned, certainly, but hopefully maybe in the future I may hire someone. The point, though, is that there's so much content right now being created, but by so many new people, podcasts, blogs, YouTube. And so you find that people may need help. Is there a way, if you're already doing some of this, or many millennials actually, they're very good at this, and because it comes naturally to them, they may not think that they could actually have a viable business, but they could. So I want to encourage you, if you're good at social, there's anything you do, think of it and just go out there and find out and see if there are people that may need your services and help them. So one of those, of course, is editing and repurposing content, showing them how to do that, that is, and also showing them how to set this up as a business, a good business that flows with systems, rather than, things that are desperate, here and there. So that would be also a good niche. The other thing I want to talk about is video editing. That is very big right now. I talk about editing because also proofreading is also there, new books, people that may want to accompany their new businesses. In this instance, I'm talking about, the people who may be creating either, new training programs or new business that may want to write some ebooks or just a book. Now, for the book, it could be someone that has been maybe talking about some topic and they know a lot about it, and you could encourage them actually to write a book, and you could help them proofread it. So it goes together with their editing because it's all editing. So video editing is also another big one, with podcasts and webinars and things like that. Before maybe it's being posted, if someone wants to, edit that, that would be also something very viable as a good business. Writing copy. Sammy, I know this is your area. I mentioned you because I know you, sorry.
Yes.
But anyway, so this is your this is your area. I know you're already doing this, but maybe you or anyone else, if you could inspire, for example, speakers who do this professionally. They're now, most of them, all their speaking engagements, I don't care who, have been canceled. Can you find someone that you could actually inspire because they're already good at what they do, to write a book, and you guide them, you edit it, and you proofread it? That would be also an area to look into, in addition to already, if someone was already doing copy for people. Again, like I said, inspiring also other people that may be experts at their craft to start doing training or writing training books. That would be a great thing. Social media, that's social media management. I've already talked about that. There are people who are very good at this already, and you may not think that, oh, maybe, this could be a business, but it could be. It could be something you provide services. And the other thing also that I want to encourage is that, it may not be that actually maybe this is your full-time business, but for some it might be. However, you could even do it as a side hustle. I mean, it's always good to have a side hustle, That would be a different topic, why it's good to have a side hustle,
Yes.
but it's always good. Yeah. So anyway, webinars and presentations, maybe helping people manage and set them up. Then online event organizing. Again, many events have been organized. Can you help us pick up book online events or conferences or seminars? Or can you even help us, speaker or any speakers create their own virtual events? That's very big. Photography for online sales. It's big right now, again, due to creating content. If you take pictures, actually, I do myself I love taking pictures. I just have never thought of putting them online. I'll try that, actually. I was thinking to myself, why not? And then also photography for online video shooting, cooking and things like that. So really there are many opportunities. Artists, if they say they're starving artists, are there lessons right now? Many people have been wanting to either take up a new skill or improve upon their hobby. And I'll tell you, I know someone teaching online guitar lesson, and this person has made a ton of money. So this is an area that really virtually, I would really encourage someone. And I won't go into the details of the platforms you could use, but one of them, just to say, Lori is coming in, is, for example, Teachable Kajabi You know, you could set these up online, and you can teach people virtually. Really, really very lucrative, actually. So if you can, you know, step up and teach any of these skills, if you're a starving artist or just an artist, that would be great. Painting, singing, and all of those. And then some finding people, not necessarily recruiting, even though it falls under recruiting, but finding people with talent and connecting those people to companies that need talent. So right now, because people are home, you find gaming has become very big, just as an example, and some other tech talents. So if you know, you have that, if you're a recruiter, especially if you're a recruiter and you have that background, and maybe you're laid off, because by the way, recruiting is also a very high turnover you know, career. So you could actually start, you know, helping, you know, companies find people, especially students. You know, students, again, it goes back to what I was saying, millennials who know certain skills, and we may not think that they could do anything, but there are people who need those skills. So connecting those people with students, for example, that are good at with certain skills like tech skills or gaming and things like that, because right now those companies are really going in strong with those skills. And then personal branding. Personal branding, this entails so many things. It goes together with, you know, the whole personal presence. Really, for example, a good example is, you know, if you can consult with people that have lost work. Some of these people are, let's say, comedians or people that we know that have been primarily on stages, you know, comedians or people like that, and they want to create an online presence. Because now if you go online, you see there are many actors who are also just like us, guess what, doing, you know, trying to find something to do online. I've really seen that. So some of them were starting, you know, a talk or interview, and then others were just teaching yoga or something, you know, they were doing their yoga and decided, why don't I invite people? After all, I have many followers. So helping people like that actually to create a personal brand online, because they may not know how to do it, and just consulting with them. And if it doesn't have to be a celebrity, it could also be just anyone, you know. Those of us coming into this, I've always wanted to do this. I'm one of those. I'm just trying to create, I've stepped out of my fear, because I thought with my other with my other career that, you know, it would interfere with this, I wouldn't be able to find work and blah blah blah. So I had to get out of my own way and out of my head and really start working on that and building my brand. And so people like me, even, or anyone else who needs help with that, you know, certainly reach out to them. Health and fitness, this one is very big online right now. You know, I don't even know how I can say it, but if you can find something, maybe you can give just a little bit differently, that would be great, because there's so many. I'm not saying you won't be successful, I'm just saying there's so many. So if you can find a different angle to that, that would be great. So mental health and wellness. Right now, many people are going through all kinds of mental health. And there are many already, there are many mental health wellness therapists or coaches. In fact, in our space, we have most of them are the ones that are using our private offices. So anyway, but an example where I was looking is entrepreneur mental wellness. I don't see many people like that, and the only ones, actually, one lady I saw, she has a paid group, you know, subscription group. Another one was actually also she's a psychotherapist, and she had a co-working space that had therapists. That was a niche for her co-working space. And I think the last time I had, she's going to concentrate more on mental wellness. So it seems she's leaving that and going online and doing this. But she, I think, decided to niche entrepreneur because she's also been one and she knows. And I'm talking from really experience that this could be a niche for someone maybe who is a mental health wellness therapist, because there are many entrepreneurs right now going through also a lot of stress and need help. And if they're not, it's so much that you have to deal with. I'm talking for myself. And I wish there was someone who knows the entrepreneur side that I could have talked to, you know. I'm better now, but you know, there's a lot of stress that goes on with being an entrepreneur. So I encourage anyone to, you know, to find a niche of sorts. So contractors right now, you know, I would like to attract people working from home, but at the same time, some of them may not want to work with us. I'm very aware at a co-working space full time. They may want to do it every so often. So if you're a contractor, I think right now, working from home and creating home offices, this would be a good niche to be in. I would encourage anyone doing that. By contractors, sorry, I mean construction contractors. The other one, also many people I know right now are doing remodeling. This is when they're getting time. I think those of you, if you live, you know, in your areas, you've seen probably people doing all kinds of repairs, remodeling, or additions, or some kind of building to their homes. So I would really encourage contractors, you know, to make sure that you're putting word out there, go online. Facebook is a big one, I think, where you can find, because people ask for recommendations a lot on Facebook. So, you know, make sure you have social proof, show some reviews or what some of your customers have said, and put your name out there. So anyway, going forward, those are some of the businesses. And then for the people that have lost their employment or their main hustle, I would like to encourage you that please look at the former examples I've given and make sure that you use those. Take some of those and use those. The best option right now is that online businesses doesn't cost much. It's not always the case, but it doesn't cost much. I'll tell you that, you know, because even I myself, I'm working on that, you know, online business. Some of them you may have to buy stuff to sell, but others you may have to flip. You're flipping furniture, as an example. You could be flipping furniture. You go, you know, garage sale, something is, you know, somewhere, furniture. You clean it up and you really resell it. You can get some good money out of that. So one of the websites that I liked, that I really encourage you to go to is entrepreneur.com. There's a particular one here I put, but if you just go to entrepreneur.com, you'll find also some good information there. The other one is also sidehustlenation.com, online/online business. So they talk about online businesses. Please go and check those out, okay? So what are the takeaways? So one of the takeaways are that us all are going to need to embrace this new normal. I call it new normal 2.0, but we need to, all of us, embrace it if we haven't already done that. And then we'll need to also, for our business, if we haven't, to add a component of online services. And then also to continue using online meetings with business to business or business to customer, as it's now embraced more. This actually has been, many people have seen the upside to this. I myself, in our business, I'm going to incorporate that, like for events. We're not going to do in-person events a lot. One, it's cheaper for us, but two, I think I've seen more engagement online at times than in person. So we'll continue with that, and then maybe do online every so often, maybe once a quarter, or something like that. The other thing also I would like to just ask, you know, each of us is, again, it creates cost savings. The online aspect really creates cost savings, so think of that. And then collaboration is huge. I'm grateful for all the people that I've collaborated with. Sami, you're here. I want to thank you, really. I asked you to come. I'd asked someone else before you, and my hope is that this will create more opportunity for, you know, for both of us, that we continue to collaborate and help each other.
I agree. Thank you.
Yeah. Then also thinking countrywide and international. Let us grow our networks, not just where we are or the town or state, but let us think big. Let us think international, if we can, if our business allows for that. And then also the big one is, I want to really encourage everyone to move beyond your comfort zone, to add value, to serve customers through experiences. And the other one also I want to encourage, which is the example I gave, with Sammy having accepted to come and give us a talk to do with resume optimization and LinkedIn, is certainly every one of us wants to be paid, but if you have a gift and someone asks you, remember that unless people know what it is or what it is you're doing, serve before maybe you ask to be paid. Okay, now we want to be paid, but I'm just saying, go out there and give a talk, show your expertise, and you don't know where it will lead. So I just want to encourage you for that. So the other takeaways or things that I want us to talk about, which are our action items as we go home. I think you said you're recording this, is I want each of us to go home and just really take some time, sit down and write down the top skills. If you feel, that is, if you would like to add to what you already have. Write down the skills you want, you have, or your things you're good at, because sometimes we may know we are good at something, but we don't think that it's something that can earn us some money or a living. And then write those down, cut it down, 20, write 20, then cut it down to the top 5. Okay, and from that, see what can be a viable business. Start with online right now, because I think we've all seen online right now is the way to go. And 2 is that you don't have high startup costs. And then from there, even though you may have a job right now, or you don't, make sure that you have a side hustle. Make sure you have something on the side that you're doing that adds to what you're already doing, because if we put all our eggs in one basket, like right now during this time, once things just hit the roof, it's gone. But if we have something else as a backup, that is always very, very helpful. So if you can have either a business you're working from home, make sure you have that. I just want to encourage everyone. So the takeaway, the action items, to do is, do a scan of your skills, write down the top 5, find out from that, through research, what is the best one that can give you at least some bang for your skill, bang for the money, without high startup costs, and then start going. And then I want to encourage everyone online that, if there's a way that you can provide value online, either blog or video or webinar or anything, do that. Push yourself out of your comfort zone just a little. If you're afraid, even one step at a time, because we're all at different comfort levels. And then, do what you need to do. So that's my encouragement, to find opportunity where, during this time. So that's the end of my, my presentation, and I thank you all for being here. This is my contact info. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. Thank you for providing that topic. I think it's very timely, and you gave a lot of good pointers, point people in the right direction if they're not sure what to do right now.
Right. Yeah. So as you know, Sammy, I talked about what to do, but the actual action, that's also a whole different topic, but at least, as far as what they can do, that's at least a good start.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Joel says, thank you in the comments.
Oh, thank you, Joel.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Thank you, Rachel.
Sure,
that was
you're welcome.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Melba, any questions?
I had two, but I'm not sure if we have time to answer them.
Yeah, just shoot quick ones. I know it's 12. Actually, I have to get going too, but
Yeah, I guess one of the questions is like, how do you not get overwhelmed by all of this? In the sense that not just because the whole situation is overwhelming, but how do you not get overwhelmed trying to, like, for example, you were talking about creating your own skills, or like naming your own skills, and kind of like doing all these different things of like how to put yourself out there.
Right. So is it how to put yourself out there, or how to actually go about creating those skills or using the skills?
Or I guess going about creating those skills and sort of like not being overwhelmed by the process.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a very, very good question, Melba, because, you know, I myself have to say, you know, at times it was overwhelming. So the first thing I would really encourage you, I'm a project manager too, so I'm going to put on my project management hat, you know, right now, is the best thing is to start, where do you want to end up? And if you have the skills, choose just one to start with, okay? And look at the end product. What is it that you want to end? How do you want this to end up looking like? Okay. You've had, I don't know if you've heard of it because you're young, maybe not, but when you're creating some goals and you want to actually do actionable steps that are going to create results, look at the end result. How do you want that to look? And then you start actually working backwards. You want it to look this way. For example, Melba, what would you like? Give me one skill that maybe you want to work on. So we use that as an example.
I guess writing and publishing poetry.
Okay, perfect. So is that helping people or writing your own?
I mean, I want to write my own, but I think at this point, what I want to do with the poetry is help other people write it.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to say, I'll say maybe as a consultant. Okay, I'm going to use that as a consultant. So the first thing you know is helping other people create it. So the first thing is you have to know that you're going to have to get customers. Okay, so you write that down, you get customers. Then you go almost step by step. If you're getting customers, where can I get these customers? Are you in? Okay, where? And then do I join certain groups? Is that where I'm going to find them? Like, where are you going to find them? Okay, once you do that, then you tell yourself, you know, oh, the next step will be, of course, you have to network. You're going to find someone maybe who may need help because it takes long to get to know who may need help, right? And then you contact them. Okay, don't sell right away. I would really highly suggest that if there are pointers you can give them, start with that just for free, okay, so that they know how you can help them. Because sometimes we don't think about that. People just want to ask right away. The ask is the sell. But we really have to give some free services or free content so people know what it is you're doing. So help them in whatever way. If they're, you know, if you're good at that, give them some pointers. You don't have to, by the way, don't give maybe all of it, but give some pointers what they can do so that they know, because that really piques their interest and like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. And then afterwards you can say, hey, okay, by the way, another thing, create however you want to be paid, a package. I don't want to say whether the package or the payment plan of how you want to be paid. And then you can say, hey, I can give you a consultation maybe for 30 minutes free. Okay, now if you're already helping them, you can say right away, because sometimes if someone wasn't helping them and they come to you, you can give the 30 minutes free. If you're already helping them, you can tell them, listen, I can help you with this for this amount. You can start with a base plan, okay, and then do base, middle, you know, premium, or whatever you call it, you know, like 3 tiers or something like that. Now, don't over also make it pay yourself very low, because we, especially women, tend to do that. But set up that system so that when you go to talk to someone, you already have that. I would encourage you, if you have a website, great. If you don't, listen, you can create a simple website yourself. I'm going to do that myself. If you can have someone help you do it, like a 1-page, even better. But if you don't have the money,
you can also create one for free and Google My Business.
Exactly, exactly. There, thank you. So that's what I was going to say. One for free at Google My Business, exactly. So, and start there, exactly. And then, you know, so that you have a presence. Now that's where the branding piece comes in, that because you have to show that you're also professional, you know. And then you talk to them, and then you start providing that service. But you also have to nurture them, you know what I mean? Like if they come to you, you allow that they ask you questions, you help them to a certain point, you know what I mean? Because if some of the questions entail maybe your next level of services, then you can tell them, hey, I can do this for you. But when you're also marketing, I would suggest that, you know, don't start from the very low, start, you know, telling people this is what I can do, this is what, you know, I would do for you. Because sometimes giving someone the whole thing gives a better outcome than, you know, where it's a lower level and it's just a little bit of this and that, and they don't get a good result, and then they think it's because of you, but it's because of what. That is how you can start. And the big thing is, I would really highly advise that, you know, you create a plan for that. Excel is very good with that. You know, just create your steps. This is what I'm going to do today. And then each day also set up a goal that you're going to achieve a certain goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you go from there. Yeah, that's the best thing. Because and writing down things is very, 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 very helpful, because you can see it literally. But if we don't, it's so much in our mind and it gets overwhelming. But the main thing is to start with one thing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Great.
Well, thank you, Melba, for the questions. Thank you, Rachel, for the advice. I know you have another meeting you need to get to also.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
This
Thanks,
was
Pauline,
awesome.
for
Thank
putting
you.
this together. And Sammy, thank you so much for inviting me and having me. And all the participants here, thank you so much for attending. It was great meeting you all.
Thank
All right,
you.
you have a nice day. Thank
The
you.
recording will be
Bye-bye.
on Facebook.
What's that?
The recording will be on Facebook.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, for the library?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'll
Okay,
get to it.
thank
I'll
you.
get to it at some point. Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
so much, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.